Ladies, let me tell you something. Relationships are a game of balance. Now, I'm not saying you should keep secrets, but there are some things a woman just shouldn't lay all out on the table. Why? Because men and women think differently, and some things are better left unsaid. Never tell a man everything about your past relationships. Look, we don't need to know every detail about your exes, how they hurt you, or, God forbid, how they were better at something. Men are territorial, and the last thing we want is to feel like we're competing with a ghost. Imagine this. You're sitting with your man, everything's going well, and suddenly you casually mention that your ex used to take you on surprise vacations or knew exactly how to comfort you when you were upset. Now, even if your man doesn't say anything, that thought is stuck in his mind. He's now measuring himself against someone who's no longer even in your life. And what does that do? It breeds insecurity, doubt, and sometimes even resentment. Even if he loves you, there's a part of him that will always wonder if he measures up. Men are competitive by nature. We see life as a constant battle to be the best, to win, to conquer. When a man is with a woman, he wants to feel like he's the only one who has ever mattered to her. Now, I'm not saying you should lie or pretend like you've never been in love before, but the details, those should stay in the past. A man doesn't need to know how many boyfriends you've had, who broke your heart, or even how much you cried over someone. What he does need to know is that you've chosen him, that you see a future with him, and that's it. Another reason to keep your past relationships to yourself is because not every man is secure enough to handle the truth. Some men will take that information and use it against you. Let's say you tell him that your ex cheated on you and you forgave him. Now, a man who isn't mature enough might take that as a sign that you're willing to tolerate cheating. He might not say it out loud, but deep down he knows that you've already shown that you have the capacity to forgive infidelity. Do you really want to plant that idea in his mind? There's also the issue of unnecessary arguments. You could be talking about something completely unrelated, and suddenly he brings up something you said about your past. Oh, so when your ex did this, you reacted differently, but when I do it, it's a problem. And just like that, an innocent conversation turns into a fight about someone who doesn't even exist in your life anymore. It's not worth it. Here's the thing, ladies. Every relationship is different. The way you loved before isn't the way you love now. The person you were in your past relationships isn't the person you are today. People grow, people change, and what mattered to you back then might not even be relevant now. So why bring it up? Why drag your past into your present? Instead of focusing on what happened before, put your energy into building something new. Let your man know that he's important to you, but don't let him feel like he has to live in the shadow of someone else. Give him the space to create his own memories with you, to be his own person in the relationship. A man wants to feel like he's writing his own chapter in your life, not just continuing someone else's story. Another thing to remember is that some men don't really want to know the truth. They just think they do. They'll ask you questions about your past, but deep down, they're hoping you'll say something that reassures them. If you tell them too much, it might backfire. A man might ask, how many people have you been with? But do you really think he's ready for that answer? No matter what number you say, he's going to overthink it. Too high, he might start seeing you differently. Too low, he might think you're lying. It's a no-win situation. Men fall in love with the woman in front of them, not the one from the past. He's not dating the girl who got heartbroken at 21 or the one who made mistakes in her last relationship. He's dating the woman who stands before him now, and that's all that matters. So ladies, keep some things to yourself. Protect your relationship by not bringing ghosts into it. Let your past be your past, and let your present be something fresh and untainted. The less he knows about what came before him, the more he can focus on what he's building with you now. Never reveal all your weaknesses to a man. A good man will protect you, but even the best man has limits. If you expose every insecurity, some men, especially the wrong ones, might use it against you. Keep your strength in check and your dignity intact. Men respect strength. They are naturally wired to see the world in terms of power, control, and dominance. When a woman lays out all her vulnerabilities too soon, it can change the way a man sees her. In the beginning, a man is drawn to a woman's confidence, her ability to stand on her own, her mystery. But the moment she starts unloading every insecurity, every fear, every doubt, something shifts. Now, instead of seeing her as the strong, independent woman he was attracted to, he might start seeing her as someone who needs to be saved. And while that might work for a while, no man wants to carry that weight forever. Some women mistake openness for connection. They think that if they tell a man everything about their fears, their past traumas, and their weaknesses, it will bring them closer. But that's not how it works. In reality, too much vulnerability too soon can make a man feel overwhelmed. He might start feeling like he has to fix everything, like he's suddenly responsible for her emotional well-being. And that pressure can push a man away. Then there's the issue of trust. Not every man deserves to know your weaknesses. Some men, when they see vulnerability, don't feel the need to protect it. They see an opportunity to manipulate. If you tell a man that you struggle with self-worth, he might start playing on that, making you feel like you're lucky to have him, like no one else would want you. If you tell him you have a fear of being alone, he might use that to control you, making you believe that leaving him isn't an option. A woman's strength is her power. That doesn't mean you have to be cold or emotionless. It means that you should be selective about who gets to see your softer side. A man should earn that level of trust. He should prove that he's someone who will protect your heart, not play games with it. Even good men, when given too much vulnerability, can change. They might start taking you for granted. If they see that you're too dependent on them emotionally, they might stop putting in as much effort. They might start assuming that you'll always be there no matter what they do. When a man knows that a woman is strong, that she has standards, that she won't tolerate being mistreated, he respects her more. He knows he has to be his best self to keep her. Another reason to keep some things to yourself is because not all men can handle emotional depth. Some men struggle with their own emotions, let alone someone else's. If you pour out every deep fear and insecurity, he might shut down. He might not know how to respond. And instead of bringing you closer, it might create distance. It's not about being fake or hiding your true self. It's about understanding that not everything needs to be shared at once. A relationship should be built gradually, with trust growing over time. You don't have to test a man by handing him all your vulnerabilities at once to see if he can handle them. Let him show you through his actions that he's worthy of that level of trust. Men are drawn to women who have an air of mystery. They like to feel like they are uncovering new layers over time. If you lay everything out too soon, you take away that intrigue. A woman who knows how to hold back just a little keeps a man interested. She keeps him wanting to know more, to earn his place in her life. There's also a difference between sharing your emotions and being emotionally dependent. A woman who shares her thoughts and feelings while still maintaining her independence is attractive. A woman who leans on a man too much for emotional support can come across as needy. Men are naturally protectors, but they also need to feel like their partner is capable of standing on her own. They don't want to feel like they have to be the source of all their woman's happiness. Think about the strongest women you know. They don't reveal everything. They carry themselves with confidence, with a sense of self that isn't easily shaken. They don't let every little fear or insecurity define them. They don't give a man the power to break them because they keep some things for themselves. Some women think that love means complete transparency, that if a man truly loves them, he should know everything. But love is also about respect, and respect is built through strength. A woman who respects herself doesn't expose every wound, every scar, every doubt right away. She gives a man the best version of herself and lets him earn the rest over time. When a man knows that you are strong, that you don't need him to fix you, he values you more. He sees you as a partner, not as someone who needs saving. He respects your ability to handle life's challenges without crumbling. That kind of respect creates a deeper bond than vulnerability ever could. Women should never feel ashamed of their emotions, but they should also understand the power of holding back. Not every fear needs to be spoken. Not every insecurity needs to be laid bare. Some things should be kept private, not because you're hiding, but because you are protecting your own strength. A man who truly loves you will take the time to understand you, even without knowing every single detail of your weaknesses. He will see your strength, your confidence, and your resilience, and that is what will make him stay. Ladies, your financial details are not for full disclosure. It's not that a man should never know anything about your finances, but there's a difference between transparency and oversharing. Money, as they say, is the root of many problems in relationships. And while every healthy relationship should have open communication, your financial standing shouldn't be something you constantly bring into the conversation. It's crucial to maintain a sense of independence and mystery when it comes to your money, because as much as we hate to admit it, some men may not be as interested in your heart as they are in your bank account. Let's break this down. The truth is, money can be a powerful tool, but it can also be a source of tension in any relationship. If you make a lot of money, that can create an imbalance in the relationship if your partner feels insecure about his own financial standing. If you make less money, some men might try to step in and control your spending habits. Or even worse, see your financial position as something they need to fix or improve. Either way, revealing too much too soon can create unnecessary pressure. If you're the one making more money in the relationship, you need to be careful about how much you reveal. Some men may feel threatened if they perceive that they're not providing the same way you are. This can lead to them feeling emasculated, and they may start acting out in ways that are not healthy for the relationship. A good man wants to feel like he's contributing, but some men, especially those who are insecure or have pride issues, might start resenting the fact that you earn more. You don't want your success to be seen as a burden or a challenge to their masculinity. Even in a situation where you're making less money, revealing your financial struggles can be a source of anxiety for both of you. Some men might want to step up and save you, but that dynamic can quickly turn toxic. You don't want to be in a position where your worth is tied to your financial struggles. You want your partner to love and respect you for who you are, not what you have or don't have. Money should never be the defining factor in a relationship. If you put all your financial cards on the table, you might inadvertently make money the focal point of your relationship instead of the bond you share with your partner. There's also the issue of competition. In some relationships, if one person is doing better than the other financially, it can create an unhealthy sense of competition. A man might start trying to outdo you, or he might start making decisions based on pride instead of practicality. This can lead to financial strain, unnecessary arguments, and even resentment. Keeping your financial situation private helps eliminate this competitive dynamic and encourages you both to work together to build a future rather than trying to one-up each other. A great relationship is built on trust, respect, and mutual support. When you start bringing money into the mix too much, you risk shifting the focus away from what really matters: emotional connection, shared values, and love. It's important that both parties in a relationship are able to contribute without feeling like they're being judged based on their financial status. When your partner knows too much about your financial situation, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy, guilt, or even resentment. The key here is balance. You don't want to hide everything from your partner, but you also don't want to lay it all out too soon. Over time, as the relationship deepens and trust builds, you can have more open conversations about your financial goals and obligations. But in the early stages, the last thing you want to do is let money dictate the dynamic of your relationship. You want your partner to love you for who you are and not because of how much money you have or don't have. Let's also talk about financial independence. Financial independence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have in a relationship. When you can handle your own finances, pay your own bills, and make your own decisions, you become a partner, not someone who relies on the other person for validation or support. There's power in financial independence because it gives you the ability to choose your partner for who they are, not because you need them to take care of you. A woman who is financially independent doesn't just bring her partner into her life, she builds a life together with him, based on shared goals and dreams. Now, when it comes to sharing financial information, there are certain things you should keep private, at least in the early stages of the relationship. For example, you don't need to tell your partner how much debt you're in or how much money you owe. Financial struggles are a part of life, but they don't need to define you. If your relationship is built on solid emotional connections, the financial side of things will fall into place over time. You can discuss financial matters once you've established trust and a deeper connection, but in the beginning, don't let money define the relationships. Another aspect of money in relationships is expectation. When one person makes more money than the other, it can create different expectations around spending habits. If your partner knows too much about your financial standing, they may begin to expect certain things from you, whether it's a lavish lifestyle, expensive gifts, or even more frequent vacations. These expectations can place a strain on the relationship if you can't meet them, or if they feel like they're being imposed on you. It's better to allow the relationship to grow naturally without the weight of financial pressure weighing it down. In relationships, there is beauty in the simplicity of connection. Money doesn't have to be a part of that connection. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that money equals success or that it defines your worth, but that's not true. Your worth is based on who you are as a person, the love you give, the support you offer, and the respect you show to your partner. By keeping your financial details private, you help protect your relationship from being corrupted by material concerns. There's also the risk of manipulation. Unfortunately, some people view financial information as leverage. If your partner knows everything about your finances, they might begin using that information to manipulate you into making decisions you wouldn't otherwise make. If a man knows that you're financially struggling, he might start using that knowledge to guilt you into doing things his way. Similarly, if you're financially successful, someone might start making decisions based on their own financial interests rather than what's best for the relationship. That's why it's important to be cautious about what financial details you disclose. At the end of the day, a healthy relationship isn't about who has more or less money. It's about trust, love, and mutual respect. By keeping your financial situation somewhat private, you allow the relationship to grow organically without the added pressure of material concerns. In the early stages, let your connection be based on who you are as individuals, not how much you earn or how much debt you carry. Money will always be a part of the equation, but it should never overshadow what truly matters.